Being a photographer, no one said it would be easy. My professional life started at the job centre in Folkestone in 2004 when I got a holiday camp job photographing kids sitting on a knee of a giant rabbit called Loopy. Since then I've had my work in the Saatchi Gallery, published in National Geographic magazine, I've shot thousands of assignments, I'm on a roll publishing my own photo books. A friend recently commented on Facebook that I'm an unstoppable photographer, and in this episode I'm going to tell you how to be one too. I don't know who you are, or if you're a man or a woman. I may never see you. I'll never hug you, or cry with you, or get drunk with you, but I love you. And if you've been cast in this life as a photographer, I salute you. Let's rock. So I've learned a few tricks over 24 years, and this video is also how to be an unstoppable photographer. It's not how to be a successful photographer, okay? This is about just keeping going. So here we go. The first thing, the most overarching thing, is that there are things in this life that you can control and things in this life that you can't. And if you're trying to be a photographer, at certain points there will be people, organizations, whatever, and they will have some power over you or your project or you continuing to doing what you're doing. So the way to get around that is think of something else. Sidestep them. If your project is dependent on a specific organization or access, that can be tricky. But yeah, there's a way around this where you can just cut that out. So everything left to decide whether your project's going to succeed or fail is down to you. So you have the control to make it work. You have the power to make it work. It's not dependent on someone else letting you do it, giving you whatever you think you need to do it. On that subject, number 2, it goes without saying you do not need a new camera. Okay, most cameras now are just incredible. Even the most basic digital cameras, amazing. Okay, if it's other kit you need, you know what? Maybe just think of something that you don't need that kit for. Okay, it's a common thing with photographers where we're like, oh, if only I had that thing. You know what? You don't need it. You've probably got something that's going to be good. Just do it. Another thing, you might consider yourself an amateur photographer because you have a day job. Well, you know what, man? That's probably amazing because you can probably commit to one idea for a really long time, not worry about making money through the photography. Great example of photographer I interviewed, Roland Ramanan, with his book Gillette Square. He shot that work over 10 years and it's now been published by Dowie Lewis and it's an incredible body of work. And he essentially did that part-time over a very long period of time. So if you just commit to one idea, you can do it. Number 4, get commercial, right? One of my big regrets was going to kind of very fine art-based photography degree, and everyone's goal was to have their work featured in a fine art photography magazine that was probably read by like 2,000 people, and they didn't pay you for having your work in it. Instead of that, try earning a living with your photography. Never turn down a job. You'll be surprised just how far you go. You just have to let people know, this is what I do now. I'm a photographer. Whatever it is you think you can do with your camera, put it out there. There'll be someone who's going to pay you, probably not much to begin with, but you'll get better and better and better, and you'll build up, you know. Literally, I was a holiday camp photographer from the job centre, and for the past 6-7 years, you know, I've been photographing for people like Bill Gates, right? That can happen, but it just takes a little while, but you will get there. In all likelihood, you are not fashionable, and neither is your photography project, so don't worry about it. If you see a trend that's happening and you jump on it, well, newsflash, right? By the time you finish that project, that trend would have passed anyway. So if there's something you want to do, just do it. And who knows, in a long enough time like span, maybe that idea will come around, maybe that idea's time will come. Failure is great. Both technically, because if you make a mistake on a shoot, you know what? You're never going to make that mistake again. Public failure is even better. Yeah, you might enter some award and you think this is going to be really great, whatever, and then you trip at the final hurdle, or even something crazy. You go on a reality TV photography show. That's a good idea, isn't it, Ed? Well, yeah, I did that too. So, you know, all these things are kind of like ridiculous, but yeah. Failure is great. You will learn, you'll become stronger, and I've heard being a loser builds character, and who knows where having character might come in handy. Fear. You are going to conquer fear. You're going to be so far out of your comfort zone that that fear will just become a little speck, a little dot. That's what you're going to do. You know how I got my channel monetized in the end? I found a guy online in Pakistan and I gave him £60 and all of my Google passwords. Yeah, some might think that's probably not the best thing I could have done, but I did it and now my channel's monetized. Now, okay, so that was kind of stupid, but you know, it worked out, everything was fine, and it was about my fear, like how paranoid was I that this was going to go south. So there you go. You're a photographer. You can do this alone. You don't need help. Go out there like a cybernetic photographic machine sent from the future and get some. But I've been struggling to make a documentary film on my own for 4 years now, and that is because I'm on my own, okay? I've had a few friends chime in very now and again, and I understand that, yeah, for some projects you will need help, but in all my years, my 24 years making photography projects, I've done it on my own, okay? That's really cool. So again, it's that idea I said at the start about, you know, if there's people who can stop you doing it, for instance, oh, I must have an assistant, I must have help, maybe find a way of doing it on your own. Because then again, nothing can stop you, only you can stop you. If you're like me, you probably have no fallback plan, no plan B, and I lost count of how many times I tried to quit being a photographer, but it's like a cosmic joke, you know, like you probably are one, you just don't realize it yet, and when you are one, like it's till death do you part. And finally, support other photographers. I wish I'd sort of thought about this a bit more when I was younger. I think photography is very unfair in the sort of commercial and art world. You can see a lot of people being elevated for bizarre reasons, even though their work's not very good. It can be very frustrating. But you know what? That's not the photographer's fault, okay? They're lucky, there's something going on there, but generally most of the people I've met are incredible. And something really nice happened. I was at the photo book fair in Peckham, and I saw two photographers I hadn't seen in a very, very long time, from when I was hanging around trying to freelance in London like 13 years ago. One was Jocelyn Allen, and the other was Greg Funnell, and they're both amazing photographers. And I felt, I mean, they were just like acquaintances, right? I probably saw them like a half a dozen times in all the time I was in London, right? But to see them there and to know that they're both still doing their photography, it made me incredibly happy. It was like a weird, like really weird feeling of happiness. Greg's been doing like great commercial work. He's got an amazing website. You should check his stuff out. And Jocelyn's an incredible artist. Like, I think she's got like 2,000 videos off YouTube where she's just dancing to songs. And she's done it for years and years and years. And there's thousands of them. You know, that's commitment. So yeah, the fact that they are also unstoppable filled my heart with glee. And I'm hoping that maybe you'll be an unstoppable photographer too. Because it's a big world, you know, and it's enough for all of us to make amazing projects and do amazing things. So I've been doing this YouTube channel thing for about a year, and I realised, obviously, probably quite early on, that I would never be that popular. Okay, there's lots of big YouTubers out there in the photography realm who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I just watch their videos and I think, you know, they're playing to the biggest demographic possible to be the most popular. And you know what? I don't give a crap about doing that. I do not want to be Mr. Popular. All the videos I started putting out right at the beginning that I thought were gold, like really interesting observations and things I've learned over 24 hard-fought years of being a photographer, they're my most disliked. They're the least popular videos. So I was trying to think about how I can do this. So I had an idea. If you're interested, I'll make a membership. And for $2.99 a month, like a cheap pint, I'll put out an extra couple of videos a month, probably tailored to you, because there'll be so few of you. If you have an idea, something you want help with, I'll probably make a video just for you. But it'll be mostly to do with like making projects, really behind the scenes of how I'm kind of putting books together, how I'm freelancing, how I'm getting work, the kit I use, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, the stuff that really annoys photographers on YouTube, you know, how dare you say about how you do it? Oh, I hate that. But this would be really good for you. And yeah, super cheap. I'll do like monthly Q&As as well. So I'll do a live stream just for the members and we can bounce ideas around and, you know, see what's going on. And I just feel it's a better way of doing this than trying to get into this kind of race to be Mr. Popular, which I will never be, ever. I know that. I'm 43 years old. I know how this works. But if there's a few of you guys who actually do want some help and you can't afford to do like tutorials with me, which is still bloody cheap at 50 quid, this seems like a really good solution because I'll have videos that there's no way I'd put them out to the general public because I'll just crap all over them. And we can also have a bit of a back and forth. You know, I can actually help you with your photography as well for $2.99 a month. Seems like a freaking steal. And on the subject of being unstoppable, maybe it'll be stupid. Maybe it won't work. Maybe like 2 of you will do it and I'll be so crazy I'll do it for ages and then stop. But this is the thing. You've got to adapt. You've got to experiment. You've got to have fun. And at the moment, I'm really enjoying doing this. And I think in the long run, I'm never going to make a living out of YouTube. And I don't want to. But if I'm going to be compensated for like a day of my time a week, I think I need to get to a certain level. Otherwise, I'm just kidding myself. So yeah, while I'm learning filmmaking, I will continue to do this quite merrily. But yeah, if you would like actually some like real help with your projects or videos that I can't share because other people will be like, no, that's wrong. I've done this for 2 years and I disagree with you. Like that's where we're going to be. So yeah, I'm not sure when it will go live. I've got a few videos I've already recorded that I wanted to share months ago, and I was like, yeah, people are going to hate these, but maybe you won't. Maybe you'll watch them and you'll be like, dude, this is gold. I get you. So yeah, thank you.